Hello everyone, it's Will Mitchell here. We just got back from an amazing weekend in Punta Gorda. If you guys haven't seen the video already, oh man, am I feeling refreshed, relaxed. That place is beautiful. We're at Copal Tree Lodge and it's been a great Monday today. We've had several clients come in. Quick shout out to Trey who stopped by this morning, Riaz, Julie, everyone who came in. We really appreciate all of you and it was so nice to meet you all. Today I want to talk to you guys about some market demographics that our team has broken down. We're gonna start by showing you tourist arrivals and we're gonna basically talk about 2019. Obviously with the pandemic, things came to a halt. They're coming back to life right now. Actually, when I came to the airport yesterday, I talked to the guys at Tropic Air and Maya Air who told me there was a cumulative total of 1,500 people that came to the island just yesterday alone. So things have bounced back very fast. It's great to see everyone coming in again. And yeah, the recovery has been extremely fast, but we'll start with looking at the 2019 data. Then we're gonna go into what the breakdown is, how old people are, where they're coming from, because it's important for you guys. If you're looking to move here, for one, you wanna know who's gonna be around you. And for two, if you're an investor, you wanna know, is this a party crowd? Is this someone who's gonna come, make a mess of my place? Or is this more of a family environment? So we're going to go through all of this right now and break it down for you. So let's make the presentation a little bigger here as we go through. So first slide, we have Belize tourist arrivals in total and by air for 2019. You guys might have seen this in some of our previous webinars because we have obviously gone over this. It's old data. This comes from the Belize Tourism Board. To be exact, 1,674,000 total tourists for 2019, of which 503,000 were by air. Now, why is it important we distinguish? Well, the people coming by car or land travelers, generally they're local domestic travelers who are either passing through Belize or they're staying somewhere on the mainland, or you get the odd tourist that might come to the island. The next group is the people coming by sea, which would be cruise ships. And generally those people will come for less than a day. They'll come in, they'll maybe do a tour, they'll go do a zip line, they'll go somewhere, and then they'll take off. So those people don't have a huge impact on the tourism or real estate market, although it's important to note them. So our annual growth at that point was 14.6%. After that, obviously, things went to a halt. So this breaks it down year over year to give you guys an idea of exactly what's happened. Also by month, if you guys want to pause this and go through the data in more detail, please feel free to do so. And this stat here breaks it down by quarter. So I find this one to be really interesting as an investor. When you're looking at an overnight rental, it's different than a monthly rental. Monthly rental, you have a lot more consistency and there's big opportunities in this market right now because most owners have taken the nightly rental approach. So if you can find a good unit at a good price to do a monthly rental, it's more stable. You might not see the return on investment, but you know you're not gonna have any downtime in your investments and there's gonna be a much lower turnover rate. So this is a great thing to factor in. But as you see here, our biggest quarter of the year is Q1, followed by Q2, Q3 and Q4 is our slowest, although December at the very end is part of peak season. So overall, it's pretty stable, pretty consistent, and you've seen growth in every quarter going from 2012 to 2019. And I think when the stats come out for 2022 and 2021, we're gonna be pleasantly surprised with how quick things have bounced back. 2020, there was obviously no report because at that point, there were no tourists. Very simple stuff. So here is when we introduce some of the 2020 and 2021 data. You see 2020 here, which basically flatlined until October when they reopened. And we saw a little bit of a jump back into what we were seeing before. Looking at 2019, you'll see the high point, and then 2021, we don't have complete data, but what you will find is that in July, we were almost fully bounced back to where we were in 2016, which getting back to where we were in 2019, I think is gonna happen pretty quick here. Overall, the recovery is looking great. Like I had mentioned, the island had 1,500 people arrive just yesterday alone. So to say that things are recovering fast, it's pretty amazing. And if you guys want to do some more market due diligence right now, I recommend calling some of the top hotels in the country. Mahogany Bay Village, that's the biggest hotel in Belize. Call them, see if they have any rooms available, see how many rooms they have available. Call Victoria House, call Matachica, call Ramon's Village, call the Sunbreeze, because I think what people will find just by picking up the phone a few times is that this market is recovering quite fast. So this next graph here, this pie chart, shows overnight tourist arrivals by origin region market. So what you're gonna find is that America, which I believe they've kind of lumped into one. Yeah, so America is by far the largest component here of the travelers, followed by Europe, Latin America, and then shout out to the Canadians next. And per capita, you find there's a lot of Canadians out here. It's pretty amazing. Asia, and then you have Belizeans living abroad, and then others. So overall, you'll find 63.2% of the travelers are coming from the US. This is because of the ease of accessibility. You know, a flight from Miami is an hour and a half. A flight from Houston is a couple hours. Same with Dallas. We have direct flights from most major locations in the US. So easy to access Belize. And by that, we get a lot of Americans coming in here. So let's talk about age range by sex. So this is broken down into male and female and what the age range is. So we don't have a ton of people coming in under the age of 18, although those people will be reported if they are coming in on a family card. So generally, what you'll find is that this is a family destination, but they're not gonna have their own card to report. 18 to 24, it's a much smaller component. The largest component of vacationers here are 25 to 34. A lot of people coming down here looking to do diving, fishing. This is a water sport destination. They're looking to go boating and they're looking to enjoy all of that great stuff. Or you might find people going into the jungle, enjoying the zip lines, rivers, wildlife. I mean, everywhere in Belize has amazing wildlife. Like I just mentioned, I was just in Punta Gorda, so I love to, jump around here. And then going into the upper age demographics like 33 to 34, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, and 65 plus. So if you take the cumulative market, what you'll find is that we are more of a, I guess you could say 25 to 65 plus destination. You get some families coming in here, with the highest spread and density being in the 25 to 34 age range. So the age range by country here, this is again, all of this data comes from the Belize Tourism Board, so we're not doing anything crazy. We're just going into their site and looking at the data and pulling it out. What you'll see is the breakdown. Again, it's going to be primarily American. This is going to reflect the past two charts. So basically what this chart does, takes those and combines them, and you'll see that we do actually get a lot more European travelers in that younger age range. Usually they're going to Kikakar. I mean, if you go over to Kikakar, you'll find most of the European travelers, or San Ignacio. Just from an affordability standpoint, there's way more hostels over there. There's more hostels in San Ignacio. We only have maybe 2 or 3 hostels on the island of San Pedro here, and it's just not a common type of traveler because things are more expensive. So from an ownership and rental standpoint, it's definitely a good sign to see that, but it's also great to know that you have the option to jump around Belize and experience all these different kinds of lifestyle. So income bracket by origin, country, region. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to explain people's income bracket. So the bulk of people visiting here, you'll see, is in 24.3% are in the 40,000 to 80,000 range. Again, you're going to see more of the European travelers on that bottom end of the scale, just because a lot of European travelers like to go backpack when they're traveling the world. They're not looking for an upscale experience. Not to say all European travelers aren't. It's just that's what the majority are looking for based on the data. If you look at the US travelers, you'll find that it's pretty evenly split between the 40,000 to 80,000, 80,000 to 120, 120 to 200, and 200 plus is where the bulk of those travelers are coming in. Canadians, what are the Canadians in here? It looks like it pretty much reflects the same thing as the US travelers. So type of accommodation stayed by country, region of origin. I guess is going to talk about what I was talking about before. So 66.1% of travelers are staying in a hotel or a resort. 9% of travelers are staying in a bed and breakfast. 12 are staying in a rented living space, so Airbnb, VRBO. 8.7% of their friend or relative's house, and you guys can read the chart here so you can get a pretty good idea. But overall, most people are looking to stay in a resort. What is important to note is that a lot of resorts do also rent their units on Airbnb. So, and this number has gotten consistently bigger over the years as Airbnb and VRBO become more prominent, hotels are shifting their booking services. I would say the majority of bookings right now come directly from a website. Airbnb in Belize, Airbnb is significantly bigger than VRBO, which you'll probably find if you're looking to rent somewhere. Bookings.com, Expedia, things like that will follow after, followed by the minority share coming from a travel agent or someone booking. It's just not as common of a thing anymore, so you won't find that really. But here's a breakdown of the type of accommodations people are staying in. So that's it, guys. Pretty simple day that we had for you guys today. Just want to get back in the mix here. Again, we can't wait to see everyone out here in paradise. We have some great videos coming this week. New listings. We're going to revisit some of our old listings. There's some great deals. One of the listings in Palmyra Woods that we had discussed that was listed at 50. The price on that is 45. So if you have any direct questions related to that, please reach out. And as always, guys, we can't wait to see you down here in paradise.